responsible for the South and West Asian community. That means anything happening here within the South and West Asian communities kind of falls into my responsibilities and also my unit's responsibilities. We know that when we're dealing with certain communities, it's not only limited to what happens in our neighborhoods here, but we have to keep an eye on what's happening back home too, because whatever happens back home affects the issues here and affects the people that are living here. What we have in place is we have certain committees that have been endorsed by the Toronto Police Service and by the chief. They're police committees, and they're to assist us in finding out what issues are happening within the community, because the police can only do so much. Right? We can't guess what's happening. We have to know what's happening, and we rely on the community to come to us and tell us what's happening. Only then can we work together and come up with some solutions to address those problems. So there could be concerns related to crime. There could be education initiatives related to the law. There could be things such as elder abuse, domestic violence, youth violence, and that sort of stuff. Those are all priorities that the Toronto Police Service has. But also, there's also other issues that are specific to the community and the certain cultures that we have in Toronto. And again, we need your help because we need to know what's happening. Only until we sit down together and we find out what's actually happening, then we can all work together and come up with something to address those sorts of issues.
I have been to the community events, I don't know, like a lot of people I met already, like I always make the effort to come to the community events that we have in Tamil communities to represent Toronto Police and how we could improve the relationship with the community, and moreover to encourage the younger generation to choose policing as a career. That's my most important point, to bring more people from the community to consider this as a career. It's been a great career. And anything, any events or anything you have, it goes through Johnny here. He will contact me. I'll be with him to help in any ways we could improve the relationship with Toronto Police and the community. And that's pretty much.
Initially it was Tamils equals terrorists. And then a couple last one, Tamils equals illegal immigrants. And now today Tamils equals fraud. So how do we prevent that from happening? Because there are Tamil police officers, Tamil doctors, Tamil nurses, Tamil professionals in Canada, tax-paid professionals. How do we change that?
That's one of the reasons we're meeting tonight, by the way. It's one of the hidden reasons that we knew that you would ask the question. It's not a secret.
There's no ethnic identity mentioned about the rioters, right? Certain crimes happen, but there is no attached with the ethnic identity. So we are wondering what's going on with that. That's, it's making it easier for Tamil community to get isolated, right? So I think we have to play smart and how we deal with these things, right? Get into the media, how we portray the message out, right?
But when you come to pay duty, they are very strict about it. Because they say, we go to school board to hire a school hall, and they put a stipulation saying that we will give the hall, but we have to get a confirmation by the pay duty officers. And when you come to pay duty, they go by 3 officers, 1 sergeant, 1 car. The bills goes higher and higher. It has to be, then there's other issue. One group doesn't like, other group does the function. They call the police and tell, they are raising funds for this.
And Johnny's the liaison officer for the South and West Asian, and that's all we have right now. But what we are doing is that we're building a pool of officers from all different communities. So, and you're right, you're bang on, that if the Tamil community has an event in 42 Division, rather than just me and Johnny showing up, and I know KK's jumped on board, there's going to be more officers from your community coming to those events, so you get to know these folks. And that's just not for Tamil communities, for the Chinese community, the Black, every other community. So that is my commitment, is to have more of those officers come to those events.
Employment is concerned, there is a kind of common problem coming up from the Southeast Asian and in the Western Asian. No girls are interested in applying for the police force because we do have some domestic problems, domestic issues, and we want some Tamil girls to come forward and join the police forces so that some of the issues can be done. For example, there is a kind of complaint always the police consultation committee says, if somebody says, oh, my husband beat me, come on, 911. Then after 2 or 3 days later on, they say, no, he didn't beat me, he just touched me to see how I am. So these kind of issues can be tackled with the women officers, so we will encourage the women of the young ones to come and join. And the another thing in the police now, grade 12 is no more needed. Take Shah, he has got a couple of degrees and all others have.
That CHRV work with, you folks work with the various groups of CHRV and liaise with the staff inspector. Two, that you work with the consultative committee groups on major issues, the bigger issues also. That you talk to Johnny Bobbledy, that this is not the only meeting we're going to have. Hopefully the only one on campus because it's hot at this end of the room. But that we have more meetings, and that they're not just meetings that are circle or square.
So I just want to make sure we all are on the same page, right? So what we are going to do at the end of the meeting, that we are going to pick up people from here, from youth group, and form a committee. And initially, like CHR, we could pick up people. Then after that, I take the objective.